Good morning, everybody. Yeah, welcome to this graduation ceremony of the Climate Action for Stronger Nigeria youth version of Nigerian Youth SDGs with support from the German missions in Nigeria. We are super excited to have trained and also organized this capacity building for young people across Nigeria. We had over 800 people apply for this opportunity for capacity building, but fortunately, right, we were able to just narrow it down to take 300 young people across Nigeria. It has been a very fantastic experience learning from experts across different topics that focus on Nigeria's climate policies, that also look at climate action, looking at the challenges of and the impact of climate change across Nigeria, in communities across Nigeria. And today it's an opportunity to see that everyone who went through the training, people who were part of the capacity building training, people who were able to go through every phase of the training today, right here, they are here for their graduation ceremony, and they are all over the chat box. They're all over the chat box. So if you are here on this call, please ensure that there is fire here. There is fire in this room. There's so much excitement in this room. My name is Praise Okezie. I'm the Communications Associate at Nigerian Youth SDGs, and I will be your moderator for today. So this is the Network of Youth for Stable Initiative, a youth-led and youth-serving civil society organization advocating for meaningful youth engagement in programs and policies that will enable them to lead and thrive. And we are super excited and always grateful to the support of the German missions in Nigeria for supporting the Empowering Youth Civil Society to build stronger communities project, also known as Climate Action for Stronger Nigeria project. And we have for some months now had the session that we had like building the capacity of UTSOs, and had a special session for young people across Nigeria. And today, after the graduation ceremony, you will also be receiving your certificate of participation and training. So we have a lot fully packed. So if you are here on this call, right, I want you to go ahead on your social media handle and type, I am graduating from a capacity building session organized by Nigerian Youth SDGs with support of the German missions in Nigeria. And make sure you use the hashtag Climate Action for Stronger Nigeria. I remember doing our session on leveraging technology and social media, and we talked about hashtag. Who remember that session? Please put that in the chat box. And I made sure I mentioned to everybody that make sure you use your project hashtag in every of your posts. So if you do that, come back to the chat box and type done for me. And you don't know, there may be something for you. So I want you to post across social media, tag NGYouthSDGs, tag the German missions in Nigeria, and tell them, thank you for this opportunity to learn and to build my capacity when it comes to climate action, understanding Nigeria climate policies, and so on and so forth, and put the hashtag Climate Action for Stronger Nigeria. Are we ready? So that being said, we'll move over to the next session of today, which is welcome and introduction by Opeyemi Okundeji. That's the program manager for NGYouthSDGs. Hi, Opeyemi, please confirm you can hear me. Hi, Opeyemi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So I'll have Opeyemi.
All right, thank you, sir.
Who will be giving just a brief welcome and introduction to everybody on the call. Over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Praise. And we are so happy to have everyone on this call this morning. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a privilege, starting this journey with you all in August, because as at the time the application was opened in August, right? So many of you applied and you got in, and we are so excited for you that you made it, right? You committed, and so you ensure that you saw through, right, from the beginning, the application process, taking your time out to apply, and also taking your time out to ensure that you attend the capacity building sessions, and even sharing your key learnings via your social media platforms. So we're so excited that, the journey that started then it's something we are celebrating today. That's it's about you celebrating your achievements as committing to learning. It's been an amazing journey with you all, and I can't wait to listen to some of the things that you have to share as regards your experience in this capacity building session, and also to see how you're going to, turn all of the knowledge that you've learned or you've acquired and gained via this capacity building session into something tangible towards moving our country forward, particularly as it relates to building climate resilience, climate adaptation, and also, helping other young people like you to commit to this learning. What you've learned, you go back to share it with others and ensure that they learn. And the more you teach others, the more you train others with what you've learned, the more the lesson stays with you. And this was not just for training sake, it's for the fact that we want to start a whole solid movement where young people, are amplifying their own voices for the betterment of our nation. Because at NGYouthSDGs, that's what we are in for. And also our general support at the German embassy, right? They've been so great in that regard in supporting youth work in Nigeria, and particularly as it relates to climate change. So once again, I'm so happy to have you on board. You're all welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let the graduation ceremony begins. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Opeyemi. That was a warm welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, like she said, let the graduation ceremony begin. I saw someone in the chat box that was asking if there's item 7. Are you really serious about this? Yes, there's item 7, and your item 7 is that your certificate to be delivered to you. Yes, yes, yes. Or I can see assign maybe Celestine or Abdulaziz to share something in the chat box, right? So please, when they are sharing, make sure they don't pass you by, okay? So right about now, we'll go over to the opening remarks that will be taken by Joshua Alade. He is the founder and executive director of the Network of Youth for Sustainable Initiative, NGYouthSDGs. Hello, Mr. Joshua Alade. Please confirm you can hear me.
Hi, Fred. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining today's graduation. First, I want to say congratulations to you. Can you all hear me? I can only see a blank screen in front of me. I want to say congratulations to you for the hard work of getting to this point. Honestly, it brings me a lot of joy to actually welcome you to this graduation ceremony, and also to say well done for going through the intense online training that we had around climate change, and also ensuring that young people are engaged in Nigeria's climate action journey. Your dedication over the past week of the training has really been profound, and I would say that you have shown, all 300 of you, those who completed all the facets of the training and those who did not, you've actually shown that you are not just passive observers in a ongoing climate crisis, but that you are ready and willing to provide solutions that Nigeria needs to be able to tackle this environmental issue that we face. And I'll say that for every one of you, all 300 of you, you actually show that you are a representation of the energy and the readiness of young people to fight against climate change. One of the things I want to remind us is that this training is not just another training. It's a training to prepare you as the world reviews the nationally determined contributions 3.0. The review period would end by February 2025. This training has been tailor-made to ensure that young people, you understand what the nationally determined contributions are, what the national adaptation plan is, and that you are equipped with the knowledge that you need to be able to offer solutions and advice on how Nigeria can move forward in meeting our climate action priorities. We know that we are faced with desertification. We every day we hear that the Lake Chad is shrinking. Yes, we know. We know that in Ondo State and in some parts of Nigeria, we are having flooding of our river banks. And we also know that farmers, everyone is experiencing irregular rainfall patterns. And it's actually disrupting agriculture, leading to food insecurity, sometimes also leading to flooding in our cities. And so it means that I would always say that climate change is not a threat in the future. It's a present day reality for every one of us today. However, you graduating today, for me, honestly, it's a thing of joy and of hope. It shows that the training that you've gotten, you now fully understand the science behind climate change and how it is impacting Nigeria. I know that you now understand the framework of the nationally determined contributions and what is needed to enhance it. You also understand how to use social media and the need for meaningful youth engagement in Nigeria's climate change policies. And you also know how you can go to your community to offer trainings or mobilize young people around climate action. But beyond all this technical knowledge, one thing is that you all have become part of a bigger network. You have another 299 brother and sister climate change actors like you that you can both work together to be able to influence Nigeria's climate future. I want you to know that your voice matters, and it matters more than before because Nigeria needs to meet our own climate commitments. Meeting our climate commitment means that we'll be able to look at the issue of green jobs for young people. We'll be able to look at sustainable housing. We are also going to be looking at the issue of renewable energy. Somebody mentioned earlier on about the collapse of the national grid. It's happened 3 times over the last 7 days. So your knowledge, your enthusiasm, your participation here is an opportunity for us to be able to reflect on the urgent needs, the urgent changes that Nigeria needs to make, especially about our present and our future. However, as you graduate, I want to challenge you. I want you to take this knowledge back to your communities and become climate educators. I want you to not just say you've acquired this knowledge or you've gotten the certificate. I want you to actively participate in local and national climate policy conversations. I want you to ask within yourself to say, what kind of solution can I bring up, or can I work with my friends, my peers on this call that would address both our climate action and also help us reach sustainable development? And the last thing I want to challenge you to do is that I want you to leverage on the networks that are in this room, the people that you are graduating with, so that you can all use your voices together to advocate for meaningful youth engagement in Nigeria's climate action policies. I want to also remind you that the revision of Nigeria's nationally determined contribution is not just supposed to be a government process alone. It is a national conversation about our future. And we as young people, you as a young person, you need to be at the center of this dialogue. the training that you've had has prepared you to participate meaningfully in this process. I want to thank the German missions in Nigeria for the funding support to make this possible. Earlier in the call, the participants mentioned that they've gotten their data stipend for participating in this training. Thank you so much for investing in Nigeria's youth and our climate future. To all of our facilitators, I hope they are on this call. I want to thank you also for sharing your expertise and your passion while engaging with our young people. And to all of our graduates, congratulations once again. Now you have the skills, you have the training that is supposed to prepare you to be a climate leader. I want to advise that the skills that you've gained is not just about the certificate alone. Don't just say, oh, I've gotten another certificate. It's to say, now is the time to ask, what is the next phase? How can I engage in Nigeria's climate action policies and program? I want you to know that you carry the hopes of generations yet unborn with this training that you have gotten into. We deserve a Nigeria that is climate change resilient. We deserve a Nigeria that our leaders understand the urgency of taking action on our climate change policies. And I want you to use your voice. I want you to use your energy. I want you to use the connections that you have to ensure that youth voices are prioritized in Nigeria's climate change policies. February 2025 is now far away. We only have less than 4 months. And it's important that we can use social media, we can use our community gatherings, the little cycles that we have, to ask government officials, our local government chairmen, what are you doing when it comes to climate action in our community? Thank you and congratulations once again. I pray that our path towards the future would continue to be brighter, and I look forward to the forthcoming review of the end product of Nigeria's nationally determined contributions to see that your actions has actually contributed to making it happen. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the ceremony.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua. That was amazing. That was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much. So if you are here on the call, I want you to write down some things that the founder of NGYouthSDGs, Joshua Alade, mentioned. I'm going to say a few things I wrote down, and I also want to hear what you heard. So just type it down in the chat box, type it and add it to the chat box. That was an amazing opening remark from Mr. Joshua Alade. So I want to see what you heard. I saw some people saying it's time for action. And I honestly agree to that. So what is one thing that you heard that was really, really profound? Ruth said our voice mattered. That's on point. I also heard that this training, it's not just a training, but a time for young people to move toward joining hands and also ensuring that Nigeria also add the voices of young people in the review of the NDC 3.0, which will be concluding by February 2025. So let me also see what you said. Someone's favorite, she said, it doesn't just stop here. That's true. Like, that is true. It doesn't just stop here. This is not the end of it. This is like a time for the action. You've learned, you've been engaging in all the training. We have amazing facilitators, expert facilitators, and now it's time for you. Someone said, I love how he mentioned our future is in our hands. We are responsible for holding our officials accountable. That is true. Make sure you put that on your Twitter, because I want to see you tweet about that and also have a lot of people engage. So let our action count. Yes, so I'm trying to catch up with all the statements, but there are a lot of things in the chat box. A lot of things. Take action today and not just for the certificate. That is right. This is not just another one for you to say, oh, I've obtained a certificate, I'm happy to announce. No, that is not where the action is. The action is going back to your communities, advocating, raising awareness, and involving more people. He also mentioned that we have to mobilize our youth in addressing the climate issue. That's on point, Harina. Thank you. So right about that, because of time, I will just go over to the next thing we have in our agenda. We'll be having Mr. Matthias Dode. He is the head of political section Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany to give the keynote address. Hello, Mr. Matthias. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Good morning,
Good
Praise. I can hear
morning.
you. You can hear me too?
Yes, I can hear you. I can see you. Welcome on the
And
call.
you can see me. Fantastic. Good morning.
Good morning. Over to you, please.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to Nigeria Youth SDGs. Good morning to all the participants, to all the awardees. Congratulations already in advance. I already spoke at the climate conference that took place in Abuja. So some of you might have already met me. Many of you I have not met, I think. For those of you that have met me and that did listen to me when I spoke there, some of what I'm going to say might sound a little familiar and a bit of a repetition, but I think it's a very important message. And that's why I think it's important to make these points again. And the occasion is indeed an important one. Climate change is the challenge of our time. But with insecurity, with inflation, with poverty, with unemployment, with all these problems abound, one might ask, is climate change really a priority issue in Nigeria? Or is this rather something for the future when other challenges have been resolved first? Some might even ask, is the transition to green energy sources and the reduction of greenhouse gases not a problem of developed countries? Nigeria, like many other developing nations, is not a major emitter of greenhouse gases, especially when calculated in relation to its huge population. Allow me to point out why I and the German government that I represent today think that, yes, it is a priority issue for Nigeria, and two, why I think it is not just an issue for developed nations. All of you are aware, I'm sure, that climate change and the transition to green energy sources is rarely a frontline topic in Nigeria's political debates. Other issues are much higher on the agenda, such as the high inflation, exchange rate, national currency, security challenges, and so on and so forth. Also issues of democracy and good governance. Given this array of pressing challenges, do Nigerians really have the capacity to deal with climate change? Should climate change really be a priority in light of all of these issues? The answer is yes. This is because the effects of climate change are already being felt in Nigeria today. The conflicts that I've alluded to just now, the insecurity, are very complex and have many different sources and dimensions. All of them, however, in one way or another, are also conflicts over resources, such as land, water, fields, livestock, forests, and natural resources like oil or minerals. Though this reduction in resources is not the sole source of conflict, never declared as such by the conflict parties, a reduce can act like a catalyzer for existing tensions in a society and cause them to erupt into violent conflict. We see this play out in Nigeria. Conflicts over farmable land are a major contributor to the violence witnessed in the farmer-herder conflict or in the banditry of the Northwest, both further reducing the reproduction of food. Both in the problems plaguing the Niger Delta and, for example, in the recent floods, environment and climate change play a crucial role. It is for this reason that climate change has an immediate effect on Nigeria's economic and security situation already today. Though often less visible than other sources of conflicts, the effects are very real. This brings me to my second question. Why, many ask, should developing countries have to transition to more climate-friendly sources of energy when it is the developed nations, like Germany, that have polluted the climate in the past and that are still, right now, the major emitters of greenhouse gases? Should the onus of reducing emissions not be on richer countries? My answer here is, again, yes. Developed countries such as Germany or the EU carry the major responsibility to reduce carbon emissions. This responsibility comes in two ways. One, reduction of climate emissions in our own countries. Germany has made this a top priority in spite of the large costs that the transition to greener energy sources entails. We are phasing out coal and ramping up in renewable energy sources, that currently already make up about half of our energy mix. Lots of work obviously remains to be done, but we're moving in the right direction. International climate negotiations are important to hold other major emitters, such as the USA, China, or Russia, accountable to and to remind them of their responsibility as well. Second, developed countries must support developing countries in their transition. Germany is ready to take on this responsibility. Already in 2022, Germany had contributed 6 billion euros to the financing of climate initiatives, 3 years earlier than promised. With this contribution of a further 2 billion euros, Germany is the largest contributor to the Green Climate Fund, for example. And with a commitment of 100 million euros to the Loss and Damage Fund at the last COP negotiations, the German government aims at protecting those states that already today are affected by climate change. We have agreed energy partnerships with numerous countries around the world and have been a major supporter of the accelerated partnerships for renewables in Africa, spearheaded by Kenya. The climate partnership between Germany and Nigeria is in existing since 2008, and several initiatives, such as the Hydrogen Office in Abuja, contribute to Nigeria's energy transition. Germany has committed more than 50 million euros to support Nigeria's energy transition today. In May this year, the German Secretary of State and also our Special Envoy for Climate Action, Jennifer Morgan, visited Nigeria to see in which ways Germany and Nigeria can work together better on climate and green energy. A part of this contribution is funding civil society for its work and its contribution to climate change transition and adaptation all across the country. The summit or the graduation ceremony that we are participating in right now is a part of our engagement and a part of our support to Nigeria Youth SDGs, from which then again all of you received your support. All of the initiatives that I have just mentioned show that Germany, as well as other EU countries, have recognized their responsibility in reducing emissions both at home and abroad. There is, however, another reason why energy transition is important in Nigeria in spite of the many challenges. And that is, it has huge potential for the country's development. We are all aware of the huge challenge of constant and affordable energy supply throughout the country. This office that I'm sitting in here right now is powered by a generator. And we've just earlier spoke about the failure of the network, of the collapse of the national grid. About half of the energy consumed in Nigeria is produced by diesel generators. These generators are not just bad for the climate, they're also very expensive, as I'm sure all of you know. Solar power can reduce the cost of electricity and at the same time contributing to emissions. Solar power is, in 2024, the cheapest form of energy production. Many communities are too remote to be connected to the grid. Off-grid solar power is the logical solution. All of this will contribute not just to less emissions, but to a better and cheaper power supply. A classic win-win situation. Foreign climate change policy is therefore not a neo-colonial instrument, as is sometimes said, but proof of the recognition of our responsibility, combined with an appreciation of the vast opportunities. Our global leadership also means ensuring that the voices of young people are heard in international climate negotiations. Youth are not just stakeholders in this process. They are the drivers of innovation, the advocates for justice, and the leaders of the international climate movement. As our Foreign Minister, Annalena Baerbock, recently remarked, international cooperation on climate change is not just a luxury, it is a necessity. We cannot tackle the crisis alone. We believe that young people like you here today have the creativity, the energy, and the passion to drive the ambitious climate change action that is needed to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement. For this, we must not only engage young people in climate action, we must empower them to lead. Empowerment means providing the resources, the platforms, and support necessary for young leaders to transform their ideas into real scalable solutions, such as the initiative of Nigeria Youth SDG. This means including youth perspectives in policy making, processing at every level, at the local, at the national, and at the international. The initiatives that you are carrying out here today are exactly what we need. Your work here at the grassroots ensures that society as a whole becomes aware of the importance and the opportunities as well of climate change and energy transition. I would like to congratulate you for the important work that you are doing, and I encourage you to continue this work, to continue being a defining factor in this initiative and in being demanding of your own government. I would also like to thank the Network for Youth for Sustainable Development initiative for organizing this important initiative and for successfully carrying it out. Let's keep up this effort. Let's make climate change a frontline topic. Let's be demanding of our own government. Let's make youth voices heard to preserve this beautiful planet that we all live on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matthias. That was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can see the energy and the excitement in the chat box. So if you know you've been listening, that was a powerful one. I love how Mr. Matthias Dode was able to explain and help us understand the incredible work of the German embassy in Nigeria, talking about renewable energy, how they themselves in Germany was able to transit from fossil fuel to renewable energy solutions. And that is what they are here to do in Nigeria. And we are super excited for the journey so far. Thank you, Mr. Matthias. If you can access the chat box, you'll see a lot of comments from the participants. Honestly, the energy is palpable. It is amazing. Thank you so much. And I hear you when you even said that young people and also the voice, they are the leaders of not just the future, but also the present. So that is why they need their capacity need to be increased. They need to learn, they need to assess possible trainings. And we are super, super grateful to the help and the support of the German embassy. So if you are here and you heard some things, please drop it in the chat box. You know how we do it, right? So drop it in the chat box. So someone said young people are the driver. Renewable energy is the way forward. I agree with you, Suleiman. Renewable energy is the way forward. We already see what is happening in Nigeria. The situation is right before us. So how can we as young people change the dynamics? We've learned a lot of things. We have been able to assess expert trainings. We've had different training, not just even the Nigeria climate policies, but even how we can localize solutions, climate actions around our communities across Nigeria, wherever we find ourselves. The future is now. Abdulaziz, that is right. The future is now. It's not just for tomorrow. It is now. It was super, super exciting to hear you say a lot of things. Thank you so much. A round of applause. Please let us make it better in the chat box. A round of applause for Mr. Matthias Dode for the session. Yeah, let's keep that coming. I love all what I'm seeing. I love what I'm seeing in the chat box. Let's keep that comment. I feel you're always on point. I think I'll make you my co-moderator for today. Thank you so much. So right about now, we'll just move over to what we have next on our agenda. But just to prepare your minds, right? If you're here and you want to give like a lifetime feedback on the impact of the training. So I just want to encourage you, find a very quiet place, right? Find a very quiet place so that when it's time to unmute you, you can also drop that in the chat box that I would like to speak. So I will take note of your name. And when it's time, I will just call you up to give a brief testimonial on the impacts of the training. If you've accessed this training and maybe you've gone along to start doing advocacy, maybe joining some initiatives to carry out climate action, or one thing or the other, if you have testimonials from the event, please, we'll have to make it brief and just go straight to the point. Just drop that in the chat box and raise your hand. So, but right now, we'll be having like a testimonial, a video showcase, right? So in before that time, I want to ensure that you are ready to give like a live feedback. So you can also use your your raise hand button. Just raise your hand. I can only see that of Ibrahim, but I will just call the next person up. So I can see your comments, but just use the raise hand button too. So we'll be watching a brief video showcase. How many of you are ready? And don't be surprised if you see your face, right? We got a lot of feedbacks, but we just had to share a few of them, and so that we can give other people opportunity to share. So just give me a second and we'll be having the video. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay.
No, we are saying something else. I think you can stop and share.
Okay. How about now? Can you see my screen? I think the first person we have here is Febechi Desmond. If you can see my screen, that is what you see right now. Can you see my
Yes,
screen?
ma'am.
Okay, and just let me know, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear the audio of the video.
State. I'm really excited. I'm Febechi Desmond in Cross River State. I'm really excited to share my experience from the capacity building training for youth on nationally determined contributions and climate action, which was organized by NGYouthSDGs. NGYouthSDGs provided us with professional facilitators who took us through the training, and to be very honest, it was
There's no more sound.
Hi, Praise. We can't hear anymore. So if it's possible to stop and share.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you see the video? Are you having any challenge with the video?
Yeah, but the audio stopped at the point. So I think you might need to start again.
Okay, let me get someone else confirm that too.
the role of youth engagement
How about
in
now?
climate policy implementation, and identify
Yes,
stakeholders and collaboration for sustainable future. This applying this knowledge and skill sets to drive for climate action.
Hello everyone, my name is Otman Amina, also known as the Audible Queen, and I am a participant for the just concluded Climate Action for a Stronger Niger capacity building session. And I must say it was very, very insightful. Like, I learned a lot. It expanded the horizons of my knowledge. Yes, like it broadened my perspective, because one of the things that stood out for me was the art of climate messaging. For the fact that I'm a media butterfly, so anything that has to do with, technology, how to like improve my art, I'm always down to earth for it. The art of climate messaging, how to leverage the use of technology, social media, also learning about the powers and potentials of LinkedIn. I mean, I have a LinkedIn account, but I'm not really active. But this capacity building sessions has really like changed the narrative. I am now an active user of LinkedIn and I love it so far. I learned a lot. I learned about the NDCs, the NAPs, a lot of climate policies and how to implement them. And
Hi everyone, my name is Mark Memga, and the capacity building session has been awesome. I've learned so many things. Before now, I didn't know anything about National Adaptation Plan or any of the climate policies in Nigeria. But through this capacity building session, I've gained a lot of knowledge. My favorite part of the capacity building session is leveraging technology and media for meaningful youth engagement. Technology, social media, all these are powerful tools that can be used to engage the public, to enlighten, to sensitize, and to advocate for a better and more sustainable future for all. So So this capacity building session has been so helpful, and I'm well prepared for what lies ahead. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Kwam. The capacity building section on climate change and youth engagement was truly eye-opening. My favorite part about this section was about learning innovative solutions and strategies for climate advocacy. The section has empowered me to take action and make difference in my community. I have gained confidence in climate advocacy. I have gained confidence to advocate for climate change and also inspire others around me. Thank you, NGYouthSDG, for the opportunity to be part of this movement and initiative. And also, thank you.
My name is Godia Moses, and I am one of the participants of the capacity building training for youths on Nigeria climate change policies and climate action. I was previously a participant in the Climate Voices Nigeria bootcamp that's held back in April. In this bootcamp, I was introduced to the Nigeria climate change policies on a foundational level. However, when the opportunity came to gain a more in-depth understanding of these climate change policies, I jumped at it and I signed up for this training. The virtual learning sessions were enlightening and insightful. I learned about the different climate change policies in Nigeria, most notably the nationally determined contributions, the National Adaptation Plan, and the National Policy on Climate Change, and much more. Also, I learned about how young people can leverage the power of social media for climate change awareness. Personally, this capacity building training has equipped me with the knowledge and information that I need to educate people, especially young people, through my platforms in order to raise awareness on environmental and climate change issues. The knowledge and experience I have gained from this training is one step, enriching me with the capacity to fully engage in policy implementation. Also, through this training, I am one step ahead in promoting climate action, engaging young people, and advancing the sustainable development goals in Nigeria. Once again, I am grateful to Nigeria Youth SDGs and the German missions in Nigeria for the opportunity to learn and grow through this program. Thank you.
And it's a wrap. It's a wrap. How many people can hear me? How many people are super excited for the video showcase? Can you hear me? Please confirm you can hear me and you're back. I hope some people are not still trying to watch again, no, because we are done with the video showcase. It was amazing. Yes. That was an amazing testimonial from part of your community members, right? Some of the participants from Febechi to Hezedra to different people, and it's so amazing to hear the impact of the training. I can see a lot of people here already raising their hands. So I won't go with you, Febechi. We just watched the video, right? Your testimony. So we give room to other people who would like to speak. So because of time, we'll just go ahead with that. Zainab Ladidi, are you sure you are ready to speak? Zainab, if you are ready to speak, just drop that in the chat box. Abasi Nyobonk Udo, are you ready to speak? Let me see your hand too. Pelumi, are you ready to speak? I just need a confirmation from the chat box before you are on mute you. Yes, Pelumi says she's ready. So you have 30 seconds to 60 seconds. So just confirm, you can unmute yourself. Pelumi, are you here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm here.
Good.
Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
All right. So I am really grateful for the training, and in fact, over time I've been doing a lot of environmental advocacy and all of that, but too. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So the training opened my eyes to, creating a niche in the environmental world, not just being an environmentalist whereby I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So in the training, I had to, after the day 3 class, I had to sit down and do a lot of studies and into what I actually want to do and actually focus on renewable energy. And I've been doing a lot of content and a lot of designs, videos around advocacy on renewable energy, creating content towards that and on LinkedIn, Twitter. In fact, it's on every social media platforms and all of that. I just do that, create the necessary hashtags and all of that, basically. So that's like one advantage this program has done to me. And the recognition I've been getting so far, like the interactions from my social media pages, especially on LinkedIn and on TikTok, has just been massive. In fact, I didn't really expect that. People who I don't even know sometimes react on the page, sometimes even comment down into my inbox and say, this is good job and all of that. So I'm really grateful for this program, basically. That's my own
Thank you so
point.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pelumi. That is amazing. Do we have the next person to join the call? Abubakar, please go ahead. Abubakar, can you speak? Yeah,
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello, everyone. This is very excited. I'm so excited and glad to find myself here. And this program is very good and very wonderful for us. And hello. Hello, everyone.
Abubakar, go ahead. We can hear you.
And the advice I need to advise us here is what we have learned here in this program. We need to emphasize and go on with it and go to our communities and talk to them and bring everybody include and make sure the climate change program is continued, not because we learn something here and then abandon it. This is very, very wrong. Whatever we learn here, we need to put it into practice. This is my advice for all of us, the graduate.
Thank you so much, Abubakar. Thank you. Thank you. So let's have Zainab. Zainab, please go ahead. Hi, Zainab. Can you hear me? Zainab, you can unmute if you are still here. Okay, let's have Haruna. Haruna, please go ahead. You can speak on mute.
Hello.
Yes, Haruna, you can go ahead.
Yes, good day, all of us. I am very glad to be part of this wonderful capacity building and training. I am excited to inform you that I have learned a lot concerning the national policy and other aspects of the training. I'm working with one led organization, and it's one of the thematic area that we are working on. That is the issue of climate change. I wish all of us best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Haruna. It's super amazing to know that the training is also going to impact the incredible work you are doing within an organization. So I want to hear from my ladies. We have 3 guys now. If I can get 2. Abdul Kodo said that the ladies are preparing item 7. No, I don't agree to that. That's not the notion when it comes to women. So I want to have my powerful ladies. Who are my powerful ladies? Just take 2 and then we'll move over to the next. Zainab, are you sure you are here? Please, if you're a male, please lower your hand. Zainab, you can unmute if you are here. Do we have somebody else? Oluchi, so you are here. Please raise your hand. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of hands, but please confirm your gender. I don't want to mistakenly unmute a male. I will just take the person out. So we have someone else, Abasi Udo. I just trust that you're a male, you're a female, so you can go ahead if you're here.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Good morning. It's not yet afternoon. It's still 11:59.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Abasibian Kildo, and I'm glad that I participated in this initiative by NGYouthSDGs. And from the training, I got to put more effort into the climate aspect because I was really focused on the energy aspect. But when I got into this program, I started to build between the two, and I'm grateful for this program. Thank you. Hello?
Thank you so much. I didn't know I was still muted. Thank you so much, Abasi Eni Obong. So we'll just move ahead to someone else. So please, if you know you're not a male, if you know you're not a female, please. Zainab, I don't know if you can talk, but I'm going to allow Ezekiel Olaleru to speak. Ezekiel, can you hear me? Just one more and we'll go back to the next thing because we have a lot on our agenda and we want to wrap up. Ezekiel, you can unmute. Okay, Zainab, maybe we'll take that later because of time. So we'll just move over to the next we have on our agenda. We'll be having a poll activity that will be anchored by Okwaimi Ogundeji, that's the program associate. So she's just going to briefly tell us what the poll is about. Then I'm going to drop the link in the chat box for us to speak. But Okwaimi Ogundeji is just going to briefly tell us what the poll is about, and I'll drop the link in the chat box. Okwaimi, are you here?
Yes, I am first. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm here. So, congratulations once again to all of the people who are graduating today and for everyone who had participated in this capacity building session. It's been so nice having you on board. So, currently, what we want to do right now, right, is basically to have us fill out this what's it called, the survey link. It's more like a poll, right? It's just a poll for us to share our thoughts, and I'll be reading out some of the responses and comments that we are having. It's just for us to have, you know, an interactive session, and let's even see what you all are saying or what you have actually taken away being a participant of this capacity building session. So it's not enough, right, for us all to participate in the capacity building session. It's not enough for us to commit, you know, to this capacity building session, dedicate our time. I mean, we had the sessions in the morning. Some of us had to, you know, set aside some time for us to participate in that learning session, which was quite interactive because I saw how you all turned up, right? It was really amazing. I'm happy that about 200 people fulfilled the criteria, which is attending at least 3 out of the 4 sessions, right? So as a participant of the capacity building session, either you attended 3 sessions, 4 sessions, even 1, right? If you attended 1 of the learning session, it's still something, because I believe that each of this capacity building session was actually valuable in its own. So what you're just going to do for me right now, right, is you click on the link that first is shared in the chat box, and then you type in your 200 or less than 200 words on what your biggest takeaway from this capacity building session is, right? Based on all of the 4 learning modules you've all actually gone through, and based on where you see Nigeria as a country as it relates to, you know, our climate policies implementation, and where you as a young person comes in. As a young person comes in, right, in ensuring that you contribute to your own quota to seeing that these policies are successfully implemented. You already know them, you know the NAP, you know the NDCs, right? So please and please, I need you to fill this survey for me. So please make use of the link. Let me see what your comments are. Let me have them. I want to see what you people are saying as regards your biggest takeaway as a participant of this session. right? I want to see what you're saying. Oh, I can see comments coming in already. All right. So one person said the power of creating awareness through social media is mind-blowing. Yes, you're right. I can remember, wasn't it Aruna that mentioned earlier, saying that, you know, him posting his key learning sort of like amplified his work in the environmental sector or in the environmental space. So yeah, it is. So can I see more comments rolling in? Can I see more responses? I can see the next person saying, I don't know who this. So it's anonymous. Please be free to share your responses. It's anonymous. The next person said the session on NAP and NDCs taught me the importance of aligning local actions with national goals and how youth engagement can shape impactful, sustainable climate policies for lasting change. Awesome. This is great. Yeah. So let me know what your biggest key takeaway, right, on this capacity building session is. What would you say is your biggest takeaway from this experience? All right, so I have another person said, I have a better understanding of climate change, which encompasses every aspect of life. I'm telling you, you know, climate change, climate crisis affects everything, the economic sector. Imagine, look at people who are experiencing flood in their community, losing homes, losing houses, you know, their farm, which is a source of income to them. So I'm glad that you know this and you already see your place in how you can contribute to the solution. All right. I can see another comment here. Can we keep it coming in? We have only a few moments to do this before we wrap up. What's your biggest key takeaway from this capacity building session? What's your biggest key takeaway? What's your biggest key takeaway? What's the biggest key takeaway? I'm trying to go through more and read less than 200 words so that we can easily go through. All right, another person said there is a lot to do in line of the Nigerian climate action. Yes. I can read another comment here that said, I learned that my little efforts can go a long way and gradually advance. Now I live by the mantra, it is more of progress over perfection. And I started planting in my garden. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. I can see another comment here that my media presence and contribution can speak to a distance audience. I also honestly love the communication that kept reminding me that I had a training and graduation ceremony to attend. Oh, that's nice to know. So now it's a one big community. You remember when our executive director was speaking, right, earlier, he said you are not part of the larger community. And this will take me, right, this person's feedback will actually take me to what the next steps are for us. And you can keep your comments coming in. So you can use the Meti link, right, the survey link that was shared. I can see that some people are also dropping comments in this chat box, but you can use the Meti link so that we can have all of your responses all together in one place. So, and the last response I read, right, will take me to what the next steps are, right? You being part of this program, these capacity building sessions, directly mean that you're actually part of the larger NGYouthSDGs community. So you are now like a community member, right? And when there are opportunities, when there are informations that are actually great for our youth audience, that means that you are actually one of the first set of people that will get to know, right? And for this project, for the Empowering Youth Civil Society to Build Stronger Communities in Nigeria project, which this capacity building session is part of, right? What is next for us is that there is going to be an exciting opportunity that will be launched soon, very, very soon. Like I said, you be part of this program means that you're like our immediate and first community member. So when there are opportunities, you'll be like one of the first set of people that will notify so that you can quickly grab it with your full chest, right? Before other people who are not part of the community members will get to have it. So that's like one of the value and one of the importance of you, engaging with our initiatives and programs. And there is an open call for climate innovations that will be launched very, very soon, right? And the reason why we are sharing it here for you is also for you to have an access to the information, so that even before the call for application comes out, you're already thinking of the ideas in your head that you will actually put forward for that. So for the climate innovation, we're actually looking for innovations that leverage technology, right, to contribute to supporting the implementation of Nigeria's National Adaptation Plan and NDCs. So are we talking about the area of energy that most of us have been mentioning, renewable energy, or are there also other aspects of this climate action, action to building climate resilience aspects that you can also think of that actually marries technology? Do you understand? Marrying technology with providing solution on how we can achieve our NDCs in Nigeria. Then of course, that sort of innovation is what we are looking forward to receiving. And of course, the benefits is that when that innovation call is out, the good part of it, like, was also shared during the summit for those people that attended the summit in Abuja earlier this month, is that there is a seed funding to support these innovations, and also our team is going to provide like technical assistance to these young innovators. So it's for young people like you. You've participated in this capacity building session. Is there other ways also that we can support you? And that is why that open call for innovations is going to be launched very soon. So you can, maybe some of you here have, such innovative ideas already that you've been working on, that have been supported, that is already running and is feasible, is scalable, is sustainable. Then you should start putting all of your papers together, start dusting them, so that when that call is launched, you'll be like one of the first set of people that can easily get to apply for it. Because, to sincerely speaking, you're already like our community members, and we're always looking forward to ways where we can serve you, and we can all work together collaboratively to make our Nigeria, right? My Nigeria, your Nigeria, a more sustainable nation that everyone looks at and they're like so proud to be from that country. So thank you so much for that, for being part of this program. Thank you for sharing some of your responses via the survey link that was dropped. I'll still keep checking them. We'll still also look at them. Please let us know what your biggest takeaway from the experience on this capacity building session has been. And also, please stay tuned to us. Stay tuned to us. So if you've not been following us on social media, this is actually one of the time for you to do it. Like I said, you're a community member. So if you're a community member, you need to be part of your community fully. So follow us on social media, and also engage, interact with all of these are engagements. We are for young people. We are working for young people. We want to work with young people. We are amplifying young people's voices. And thank you so much for being part of this journey with us.
Thank you so much, Okwemi. That was amazing. So I believe we're also wrapping up with the closing remark right there, right?
Yes. Thank you so much, Grace. So for people who actually attended like at least three, right, of the learning sessions, like we had communicated to you earlier, even before you started the program, I'm sure that you all should have received your certificates, right, in your mailbox right now. Like, it has been DHL'd to you. So it has been DHL to you. So it's something you can start waving off in the air and saying, all right, I committed to this learning. It's a thing of pride, actually. But beyond that, right, beyond all of the knowledge that you've acquired, beyond all of the knowledge that you've gained, what action are you actually putting in place? Following the lessons that you've learned, following the connection that you've made, what actions are you taking henceforth? We did not just have this capacity building session for having its sake. We had it so that you, as a young person, is able to actually know your place, right, in this, in building sustainable cities, building sustainable communities, and also know your place in amplifying your own voices for even bigger impact. Because, the change actually starts with you, it starts with me, and it's all starts from that little actions that you're taking that sums up to the big thing. What if tomorrow you wake up, you share a review of the NAP year today, the next day you share another comment on how the government should do this or do that, you know, as it relates to building resilient communities, you know, it sums up to something. There are also learning resources that will also be releasing and sharing with you all who are part of our community members to help you stay informed and know how to take more actions as it relates to this. We would also like you to, you know, help us share it with other people that you have in your contact. Even the act of sharing it with someone, when you receive those learning resources, there are so many learning resources that will be releasing and publishing following this program. So we want you to stay in tune, share it with people so that, you know, they have the right knowledge in order to also move the needle forward. And there will still be more engagement. This is not the end to our engagements. I'm still telling you that this is not the end to our engagement. So we'll definitely we'll try to keep in touch, be reaching out to you. Like I said, you're a community member already. And thank you so much. Take to your platform to share how you feel about, you know, receiving your certificates and all. Thank you. And we appreciate your commitment to this program. Over to you, Grace.
Thank you so much, Opemi. That was a nice wrap-up from the session. I'm super excited that we have not just learned, right, that we have now been equipped with the skills and knowledge to move ahead. Just before we go, I'd like to read a comment from Muhammad. Muhammad Bello Amini said he is happy to share with everyone that I initiated my own movement that I named Let's Restore Our Environment, which the aim is to inculcate the culture of environmental restoration to our younger ones through awareness and sensitization. Also, with the courtesy of this life-changing workshop. Please, a round of applause for Mohammed. That is action. How do they say? Action speak louder than words, right? That is Muhammad taking action. And we've heard a lot of things, even from the Metimeter. So I would just want to encourage Muhammad and also other people on the call, please add your feedback to the link that was shared earlier. I will also try to paste that link right now. Yes, so just put your feedback there. Favorite say, go Mohammed. Yes. So just make sure that you share. And one thing I want to encourage you, everybody here, is if you see someone making a post or tweeting, tagging NGYouthSDGs for the Climate Action for Stronger Nigeria, check the person out, follow the person, connect to the person, and see if the person is even within your state so that you can work together to increase awareness and sensitization. So from all of us at NGYouthSDGs and also on behalf of the German Embassy in Nigeria, we just want to appreciate you all for being part of the conversation, to our facilitators, to everyone who has supported the conversation, who has supported the training. We say thank you to the NGYouthSDGs team. Thank you to everybody. And goodbye, and we're going to see you soon. Have a lovely day.